It was a night like any other, or so I thought. I came home, tired but numb, expecting the usual routine. Dinner, a few quiet words, a little TV, then bed. The kind of evening where the silence between two people feels comforting because it's familiar. The kind of evening where you lie to yourself and tell yourself everything is okay. But that night would break everything. The clock on the wall was ticking in the background, a constant reminder that time was moving forward even though my world had just come to a screeching halt. Emma, my wife of 5 years, sat across from me. She hadn't spoken much all evening, just the occasional murmur, but nothing that raised alarms. I wasn't looking for signs. Who looks for signs when they're trapped in their own version of normal? And then she said it.
I want to spend the night with Oliver.
The words hit like a hammer, splitting my chest.
The words hit like a hammer, splitting my chest open. I didn't register them at first. I thought I misheard her. What did you just say? My voice sounded foreign to me. Her eyes met mine, cold, calm, distant. I want to spend the night with Oliver, she repeated as if it was the most natural thing in the world. Oliver. A name I'd barely thought about until recently. He worked with her, some guy at her office. I never paid him much attention. I didn't need to. I trusted her. But in that moment, everything I thought I knew about trust was ripped apart in an instant. The air felt thick. I couldn't breathe. The weight of her words crushed me, and I had no idea what to say. I didn't even know how to react. What do you say to your wife, the woman you've shared everything with, when she casually tells you she's been sleeping with someone else? I opened my mouth, and nothing came out. My throat closed up, like the universe itself was suffocating me. I wasn't prepared for this. I wasn't prepared for any of it. She let out a breath. I need him. Not you. She said it like she was stating a fact, like I should already know. You've never really understood me. You never really saw me. You're not the man I need anymore. The weight of her words was like a lead weight to my chest, but it wasn't the words themselves that crushed me. It was the truth I was slowly starting to grasp. I'd seen the signs, had ignored them, kept pretending, kept lying to myself. The late nights at work, the strange glint in her eyes when she talked about Oliver, the way her body language shifted when he was mentioned in conversation. I had convinced myself that it was nothing, that she was just stressed, just busy. But it wasn't just stress. It wasn't just work. She was leaving me long before she walked out that door. I sat there, lost, cold, empty. All the years of love, trust, and companionship we'd built, gone in a moment. How long? I finally asked, my voice quieter than I wanted it to be. It was the question that needed to be asked, but I didn't want the answer. I knew I wouldn't be able to handle the answer, but I had to know. A few months, she said without a second's hesitation, like it was a simple fact. It started slow, just texting. Then we'd hang out after work. It wasn't anything major at first, but then it became something more. I couldn't stop it. I felt the floor slip away from beneath me. A few months? A few months of lies, of betrayal, of things I couldn't even begin to understand. I don't know what I expected her to say. I thought maybe she would apologize, maybe break down, maybe beg for my forgiveness, but she didn't. She just sat there, empty eyes staring back at me, like I was an inconvenience, like I was just a phase in her life that she was done with. The truth hit me harder than any punch ever could. You don't care, do you? I said, the words dripping with venom that I didn't even know I had in me. You don't care about me. She just looked down at her hands, twirling her wedding ring around her finger, as if she were choosing her words carefully. I never meant to hurt you. I didn't want it to be like this, but I can't lie anymore. I've tried to make it work, but it hasn't. I've been pretending for so long. Pretending? My voice was low now, barely above a whisper. You've been pretending for months while you were in his bed? I didn't mean to hurt you, she repeated, but this time I could hear the hollow echo of it. She wasn't sorry. She was tired. Tired of pretending. Tired of me. I wanted to scream. I wanted to hit something, anything, to make the anger, the hurt, the betrayal go away. But it didn't. It stayed. It rooted itself deep inside me, twisted around my insides like a poison. My throat tightened, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. She was gone. Not physically, but emotionally, long before she walked out that door. "If this is what you want, Emma, then go," I finally said. My voice was steady, but I could feel the tremors in my hands. I wanted to collapse, but I didn't. I couldn't. "I'm not going to beg. You've already made your decision." She stood up, not a single word more. No apology, no finality. Just nothing. She grabbed her bag, her coat, and walked out the door. The sound of the door clicking shut behind her was like the final nail in the coffin. And then the silence. A silence so thick, so suffocating, it felt like I was drowning in it. The next few days were a blur. I went through the motions, but it was like I was watching myself from the outside. I couldn't process the heartbreak, the anger, the betrayal. I couldn't even look at the places we had shared, the memories we'd built. Every corner of the house seemed to mock me. Her absence wasn't just physical, it was like her spirit had been removed, and I was left with nothing but the hollow shell of what we used to be. But in the midst of the rage, of the heartbreak, there was a small flicker of something else. A realization. I wasn't broken. I would heal. I would rise from the wreckage. I wasn't going to let her destroy me. I wasn't going to drown in this pain. I would find my way out, even if it meant walking through hell to get there. But here's the thing I didn't see coming. I wasn't just going to move on. I wasn't just going to let her walk away and live happily ever after with him. No. There was something about betrayal, something about being humiliated in front of the person you trusted the most that ignites something savage in you. I realized in that moment that I wasn't done. I was just getting started. The old me, the forgiving, docile husband, was gone. What I became was something far darker. I let Emma and Oliver think they were safe. They thought they were winning. But what they didn't know was that I was planning my revenge. I started small, just enough to plant seeds of doubt in their perfect little world. I had access to everything. I had her emails, his texts, the places they'd been together. I fed them into the system. Slowly, methodically, I made sure she'd know I knew. I made sure Oliver knew he wasn't as untouchable as he thought he was. Then, when it was too late for them to undo the damage, I made my move. I sent screenshots. I made phone calls. I exposed everything. Her perfect world? Crushed. Her pristine image? Shattered. And as I watched them fall, I felt a sick satisfaction. No, it wasn't going to heal my broken heart. But damn it, it felt good. Watching them scramble. Watching their guilt gnaw at them. They thought they could take everything from me and just walk away. But they forgot one thing. You never walk away from a man scorned. If you've ever felt the sting of betrayal, you know that the pain isn't something you just move on from. But sometimes the hardest truths don't just free you, they fuel you. They drive you. They turn you into someone you didn't even know you were capable of becoming. And for those who think they can get away with it, remember, nothing stays hidden forever. This is the last warning. You never mess with a man who has nothing left to lose.